You know, Double Dragon on the Nintendo Entertainment System is one of the most venerated games on the 8-bit console, and for good reason. It's one of the best side-scrolling beat-em-ups on the console, but you know, as good as Double Dragon was, I'm actually going to argue and say that Double Dragon 2, The Revenge, its follow-up, is actually an even better game, and one of the best co-op games you will play on the NES. So for this installment of Profiles and Awesomeness, I'm booting up Double Dragon 2, The Revenge. Haven't played it in forever. Just kind of see if it still holds up, and you know what? I think it does. First thing you need to know about the game, the different combat system. Instead of having a punch and a kick attack, basically your entire combat system is anchored on directional attacks. So if you're facing this way and you hit this button, then yeah, you can knock the guy out with the B button, which is not really working too well for me. So yeah, if this looks familiar, if you ever played a game called Renegade, it's more or less the exact same system. So here's what you need to know. If you're facing this way, B's attack, the A is the backwards attack. Facing that way, it's inverted. So that's very creative. It doesn't seem very productive at first, but you know, once you actually get in the game, it's actually a really fun and fluid way of playing Double Dragon 2. So yeah, not really surprisingly, it's pretty much the exact same game gimmick-wise as far as the original, but with some updates. You can see here you have the same basic villains from the first game, so they've been mildly updated. I like the fact that the whip women look kind of like Rachel Maddow. Everybody's noticed that before. I also think the AI in this game is a lot better than it was in the first one. Oh goodness. They're much tougher opponents. It's also a little bit more of a platform-heavy game than the first one. So there's a little bit more hopping and jumping and kicking of the fanny. Oh, that's ridiculously violent. It's a much more visceral game. It almost reminds me in some ways of Double Dragon on the Sega Master System. If you ever played that one, that was just a crazy, wacky, insanely visceral game. So plot-wise, this one is a little bit different. It's like in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, so you're obviously seeing a huge Road Warrior inspiration. So it's a much darker game. I think that makes it work. There is nothing really out there I think it's as satisfying as whacking a dude with what appears to be a 2x. What is that exactly? A pipe bomb or something? I'm not really sure. So anyway, you're going to see the Road Warrior inspiration. Pretty severe right here. Because you're taking on a Big Van Vader here. So the idea here, in case you haven't figured it out, is try to get away from him and kind of get caught up in him like that. Actually kind of get stuck in his own geometry until you get gut punched repeatedly. This guy used to scare the crap out of me as a kid. This is a good opportunity to get a couple of free shots on here. Goodness! Gotta fight RoboCop here. Chunky RoboCop. It's a much more challenging game than Double Dragon as well, in my humble opinion. But I'm playing on easy mode. I like medium mode, so it doesn't seem as awesome, I'm afraid. So this is a good idea of what I was talking about. It's much more platform heavy. This is a good death spot too. But yeah, it's just really fun once you get the hang of it and the controls become second nature. It's hard to deny the addictive appeal of Double Dragon 2, The Revenge. Which, by the way, I'm not getting paid to say that. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, wow, that was dangerous. That came very close to being a horrible misstep. Did you take off my B-roll? So as you can see, once again, I've been saying this over again, it's much more platformer-y than the first game. You get all sorts of really cool environmental stuff that you never really got in the first game. Oh, look at that! You get tricks like that too, so you can't really be complacent either. Ah. Oh, well, this is not good. Huh. Well, this is just... this is not really my idea of fun. So there are some drawbacks to the game. I think we're seeing it quite well here. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. Get some offense. No! Well, that was great. Kind of pointless. But yeah, you did get cool stuff like this. You didn't get to this in the first game. You didn't get to punch people off roofs as much. Oh! So many close calls already. This is just daunting. These are kind of like the Goombas. They're the low-level enemies. The shoulder pad, Legion of Doom, green khaki people. It's really funny because, you know, you see these guys right here. There was this kid that I went to like elementary school who looked just like one of the bad guys from Double Dragon. I think he's maybe the long-distance cousins of the guys in the first game that throw barrels at you while wearing overalls. You know what I'm talking about, right? If you're... Oh, okay, I think I got this guy figured out. It's not gonna work. Oh! Like I said, the AI is just way better in this one than it was in the first game. Except for that. Okay, I can't mess this up. This is my last life. I want to show you guys at least the helicopter part, because it's pretty great. So this is one of the most ingenious levels in any NES game ever. Okay, check this out. You're in a helicopter, right? So how do you convey the claustrophobia of being in a helicopter in an NES game? Well, that's how you do it. You actually just narrow the entire screen to about the size of a loaf of bread. And it's also really awesome. Watch this. Another cool thing. This is kind of like a director's cut. I'm being very postmodern here. But if you pause the game, you won't get sucked out of the little airlock. But your opponents will, which we'll hopefully be demonstrating momentarily. See, like that. That's what? Oh, oh man, I lucked out severely on that one. Good job, buddy. But here's arguably the best thing about the entire game, and I'll cut right for this. You get to fight a Bobo. Watch this. You guys? Oh, well, I died too. Well, never mind. Well, anyway, that's how you do it. That's Double Dragon 2, The Revenge. And in hindsight, you know what? This game, it's still pretty awesome. Congratulations. Acclaim. Don't get to do that too often.